you obviously are like a heroine in your own right, like for what you do, like your job. And I know you're very modest and you're not going to say that, but President Joe Biden visited our home, and you were arriving home from work. And what did he call you when he greeted you?
Yeah, I have fortunately had the opportunity to meet him a couple times, and we've discussed this every time I tell him a nurse. He tells me the nurses are angels. So, regardless of how you feel otherwise, we're big Biden people, but like you gotta appreciate someone who appreciates healthcare workers. I don't want to say it's a thankless job because I do think my patients are typically very grateful. I get a lot of things from them, but it's definitely can be all consuming. And so much goes into it. I think so many nurses just like give so much of themselves to their profession, so it's definitely nice to people recognize that.
Yes, he called you a Florence Nightingale. His Florence Nightingale, and
Everyone's reference for a nurse.
yes, but I mean it's extra special when it's coming from the president.
Welcome to Meeting Maggie, where we value each person's authenticity, whether it be over Starbucks or stargazing, and from fandom to fanfare. Season 2 of Meeting Maggie is all about the secret sauce of life. And as we discuss, we meet me, Maggie McGregor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meeting Maggie. Today, we are so lucky we have a guest on who is truly the closest person to me in my life. So, my sister, Virginia McGregor
Hello.
Paddock. Hello. She's so excited to record today. No, she was timid, but she's doing this for me, and I'm
Yes, you're very persuasive.
I'm so excited. I couldn't be more excited to share her with all of you. Like I said, I call her Vivi. Our family calls her Vivi. 2 V's. V's up. She is the closest person to me, and I share a lot on this platform about my mental health struggle. And Vivi is truly my rock. And they don't tell you, like, when you're diagnosed with a mental health disorder that you're gonna need like a right hand. Like, you're just gonna need someone to back you up. And Vivi takes out my garbage, she cleans up my empty cups, and she just does all the things that I need that I never anticipate that I'm gonna need, but she's always there to do them when things fall through the cracks. So first, I'm gonna share a little picture of Vivi. I'm gonna tilt my computer. There she is. We're right next to each other. That's Vivi. That's me. That's our brother Will. But isn't she a cutie? I am so proud that she is my sister. And I guess I'll start with her occupation. Vivi, what do you do?
I am a labor and delivery nurse.
And I think it's truly a selfless profession. Do you think so, Vivi?
Yeah, I guess a lot of nursing feels like that, but I really love it. I think I'm really lucky to have found something that I truly enjoy doing.
Yes, and you were lucky enough to be there to assist with the birth of your namesake, Virginia Kramer, our niece.
Yes, definitely one of my favorite moments.
Could you tell us a little bit about that, or is it like HIPAA?
No, I think that's pretty public information, but not to get into all of our sister Grace's business. But yeah, I mean, I really love being a part of any family's delivery. It's just cool that it's such an important day in people's lives, and I'm just at work being there for it. So definitely being there with our sister was great, and I've definitely had the opportunity in the time I've been a nurse to be around for a lot of people that I know. I've worked in Scranton now for the last 8 years, so go figure. I'm going to see a lot of familiar places. But yeah, it's a really vulnerable time to be with families. It's a really special moment, so I definitely don't take for granted that it's really special to be with people during that.
Yes, and I hear back, like, in my comings and goings, people who are like, I had your sister as my nurse during so and so's labor and delivery. My sister, my cousin, my stepsister, my sister in law, all people, and you get rave reviews. So
Well, I'm glad to hear
there's
it.
that. There's that. So Vivi and I obviously grew up together, and we spent a lot of time on our third floor in a folded cot watching VHS movies. We folded the cot because it was just like comfy and fun, and we would sit in it. And what are some of your favorite rom-coms that we watched during that time? Because we were big on the early, like the 90s, early Y2K rom-com.
I know. I think that was really just a peak time if you're a rom-com fan.
It was amazing.
So that's my preferred genre. It's hard to choose. I think I'm a loyal How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days person.
Yes, yes.
I mean, the yellow dress is just always going to be iconic for me.
And you kind of look like Kate Hudson, so
that
there you go.
is probably not true, but incredibly flattering. I would love to be able to pull that look off. I think it's probably not going to happen, but it was definitely a dream at the time. Obviously, I'm a big Katherine Heigl fan. You know, she has endless options there. I love 27 Dresses. I'm someone who's been a bridesmaid a lot of times. Not in as extreme way of hers, but love that. And then I guess I'm a big Julia Roberts fan too. Like, what's not to love with her? So My Best Friend's Wedding is really a favorite of mine. I guess those are the top couple. Okay, I'll give an honorable mention to we were big You Got Mail fans. I think it's just a classic. It's like such a soothing movie to me. I think like as a family that loved bookstores too, and like someone who likes to read.
Shout out to the late Tudor book in Clark Summit.
I know. You just like you don't get that vibe
R.I.P.
from a big bookstore. Although I did see something on Instagram recently talking about that movie, and it was, I forget who, like, what content creator posted it, and they were talking about how they loved the movie, but were like, okay, can we admit they really didn't have that much chemistry in terms of, like, a love story? And once I thought about it, I was like, yeah, you're probably right, but, like, the overall plot was there, and I do love that. So, yeah, I think those would be my top choices.
Glad to hear it. Vivi, you are a big baker. You love to bake for your hubby and the other members of your family. What are some of your favorite things that you've baked recently?
I guess it really varies. I think a constant rotation in my kitchen is just like a classic chocolate chip cookie. Most of the people close to me know this, that I usually like bake a lot of the dough and freeze it, so I just always have it on hand when I want chocolate chip cookies. Which is
one thing I love about you.
Yeah, I mean, I can't recommend it enough because then you can just they're there whenever you want them. I was a little late to the
when we're having a hard day, you whip out that dough and you make me a latte, and it's just the best thing.
Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. But yeah, I was really late to the game on getting into sourdough, but I got into sourdough this year. It's kind of on a hiatus right now. My starter's a little dormant, but I did really like that, so maybe that'll come back. I'm trying to think about, I guess I haven't made anything very exciting recently. Oh, I did get on a kick also, that Ina Garten chocolate cake. I read her or listened to her memoir last year. She talked a lot about it, and now that's really been on rotation this year too, because I love like a really rich chocolate cake.
So for any listeners who listened to my podcast with Amanda Hesser, I mentioned that my sisters and we would always make her almond cake. And we have yet, Amanda, she told us during the podcast that she wrote an updated version of the recipe, and we have yet to try that. So there you go. This is the sister who I exhausted many a hand mixer with. The engine just couldn't keep up with our thick cookie dough, and we took to the grave. Like, I mean, we had to bury like some mixers.
Yeah, I'm a loyal KitchenAid stand mixer girl now.
Yeah, both of us are. Vivi, tell us a little bit about your home life. You have a handsome hubby.
Yeah, I guess I'm partial, but I think I have a very handsome husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, the we live not far from the rest of our family, which is what the two of us wanted and have really enjoyed. Um, I guess it's not very exciting otherwise, but yeah, I went to Villanova for college. I moved away for a couple years. I moved back here in 2017, and have been in the like greater Dunmore Greenridge area since. But we're very happy here. It works for us.
So I am someone who has had trouble consistently getting up in the morning. And I have adapted the Vivi McGregor Paddock slow hatch method. I'm going to let Vivi explain most of it, but for me, it's an UGG robe, a slow hatch, a slow move to the couch from the bed, and a cup of iced coffee. Vivi's is a little bit different. Vivi, tell us about the slow hatch.
I can't say I have a very good routine right now. It's actually something I've been working on. I think I'm struggling with what many people are is like how to not get sidetracked by my phone in the morning. I bought myself a Hatch alarm clock maybe 2 years ago to help with that, and I've done okay with it. But it is very nice for winter because it's one of the those like sunrise alarm clocks, like the light's
Oh
supposed to
wait,
come on to
did we
wake you up
say that
gradually.
you work nights? Did we say
I
you
do work nights, yes. So I'm
Okay,
like an
so
extreme,
Vivi's
not a morning person.
yes. So the slow hatch is like truly an all day affair. Vivi gets a call
Yeah.
from me, a rousing call at 5:15, then 6, and then 6:15, and that is her wake up call.
Yeah, so I think I don't like have a very clear day-to-day routine because my work schedule fluctuates, but very much not a morning person. This is always like an ongoing discussion with my husband and I because I was like I'm like yeah I hatch out very slowly. I can't like get up and dive into something. I can't have like a lot of noise and light first thing in the morning. He's very much a morning person, so he was a little confused by that. He tries his best to accommodate it. He'll like walk around our room and just like make a little bit of noise, like turn a light on, then leave, and come back and turn another one. It's like he didn't really understand what I was explaining early on when we were together and trying to get there, but I do really appreciate his attempt at it. Yes, but I'm definitely someone who likes to like really enjoy my coffee first thing in the morning. So we'll see. The wake up routine right now is a work in progress, but I think I just, at this point in my life, I know I'm not good at mornings. It's not when I'm the most productive. And I just kind of work around it.
I think you've got a great routine. Like, you admit you're not good at mornings. You admit you need like a slow hatch, and you move from the bed to the couch to the kitchen window seat, and then tell us about the magic of the Breville.
Yes, I know you usually like to ask people Starbucks order, and you're
I know,
accommodating me since I am
Vivi.
not a Starbucks person.
I was like, you have to tell them though. You have to sell them on the Breville.
Yeah, I
This is a
mean,
sales pitch.
yeah, I think obviously one of the exciting things when you get married is you can just pick gifts out for yourself on your registry. So definitely my favorite and most used item is I have the Breville Barista espresso maker, and I just love that thing so much. You've probably seen it featured on Maggie's stories a lot. She comes over for lattes. I'm actually not that big of a coffee drinker. I'm like a very delicate caffeine person. I have one coffee when I get up, and that's like usually enough for me unless I'm really tired. So because of that, I was like, okay, well, I should just really commit to this one single coffee I have in the morning. So I really like a latte. So my espresso maker is key for that. It has a steamer on it as well. I love the Electric City roasting espresso beans, so that's what I use, and this also has a grinder attached. So it's like a little bit of a process, but part of it, because I'm not like a get up and go person, I don't need a quick coffee. I'm not going to have one later on. I'm like a quality versus quantity girl here. We also have a coffee pot because my husband is more of a quantity person, but he does also appreciate the Breville at this point. He was very intimidated by it at first. It looks very intimidating, but I actually had a friend from college who had it first. I stayed with her for the weekend and was like, I need this. So yeah, I'm a big, if your coffee is a thing you enjoy, then, go ahead and invest in it.
Go ahead and add that to the registry. We'll link it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've had it for like going on 3 years now, and it's definitely still my favorite kitchen thing.
And just like the UGG bathrobe that is part of the slow hatch method to waking up, it spread like wildfire throughout our family. And now, how many of our siblings have the Breville barista?
I think
The
3 of
Kramers?
us do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we are like whatever the opposite of gatekeepers are. If I find something I like, it's like I must tell everyone. I'm not getting kickbacks on it. I'm like, if I feel passionate about this thing. And the benefit to talking your siblings into buying the same things too is that then they can like give you advice on it, right? I'm like, this thing's broken. How do I clean it? Whatever. Text someone who has the same item. So I'm a big supporter of that.
Vivi got the UGG bathrobe at the St. Joe's auction. Shout out to the St. Joe's auction. And now our mom and our 4 sisters, our sister-in-law Bonnie, we all have the UGG bathrobe. We got it for Christmas. It was amazing. We all love it. I'll link the UGG bathrobe for sure. For sure.
I do love that bathrobe. Yeah, I think we're just all people that like to be cozy.
Cozy's the way to be. So you obviously are, okay, so I can't say like the character name, but you obviously are like a heroine in your own right, like for what you do, like your job. And I know you're very modest and you're not going to say that, but, President Joe Biden visited our home and you were arriving home from work. And what did he call you when he greeted you?
Yeah, I have fortunately had the opportunity to meet him a couple times, and we've discussed this every time I tell him a nurse, he tells me that nurses are angels. So, regardless of how you feel otherwise, we're big Biden people, but like you gotta appreciate someone who appreciates healthcare workers. I don't want to say it's a thankless job because I do think my patients are typically very grateful. I get a lot of things from them, but it's definitely can be all consuming. And so much goes into it. I think so many nurses just like give so much of themselves to their profession. So it's definitely nice when people recognize that.
Yes, he called you a Florence Nightingale, his Florence Nightingale. And
Everyone's reference for a nurse.
yes, but I mean, it's extra special when it's coming from the president.
Yeah.
So Vivi, you and your husband Michael bought a home in the Hollywood section of Dunmore, and you immediately decided to reuphold the president.
Yeah.
So Vivi, you and your husband Michael bought a home in the Hollywood section of Dunmore, and you immediately decided to reupholster 2 chairs you got for free. What gave you that confidence that like you could reupholster 2 chairs? I mean, they're beautiful.
I would say exactly 1 TikTok that I watched on it telling me it was talking about like investing in furniture and like, the way, if you're thinking about reupholstering things, it was like focus on shapes. You can always, or it was on like buying vintage and secondhand, and it was like you can always change fabrics, focus on shapes. And then I watched like 1 TikTok, so I guess it was 2 total, of someone reupholstering things themselves. I saw these chairs for free on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, yeah, I understand buying secondhand now. I like the shape of these chairs. I definitely am just someone that like enjoys a hobby. I don't know that I necessarily stick with any of them for very long, but I think it's just like good for your brain to do something new, and I think something that you're not qualified to do, right? Like in a low risk setting. I got these chairs for free. I probably spent like $100 on some materials. And then like, yeah, an incredible amount of my time, but it was like January. I had some free time. And yeah, I think it was just, I wanted a little project to do and was like, let's see if I can do this. My family gives me a lot of credit. I think they came out okay. But I chose some forgiving fabric, and they are very comfortable chairs. So they're very popular in this house. I've not reupholstered anything since. I don't know where my career is going to go in that. I'll probably use a professional if I have something to do in the future that's that difficult.
So Vivi always like dresses cozy because she like her, circadian rhythm is a little off from the night shift, and she's always got to be like ready for a nap, but also ready to go into work. So Vivi is like she's my go-to girl for any cozy recommendations. What are your top three like wardrobe essentials? Like I could probably name them, but what are your top three like day-to-day wardrobe essentials?
Yeah, I think you summarized it pretty well. They're all pretty comfortable. I think this is a problem a lot of nurses have, that like I don't even go into work in my scrubs. I go in like sweatpants. I get changed when I'm there. But like I don't need like an elevated day-to-day wardrobe. So most of my like everyday things here are just pretty comfortable. But yeah, I don't know. I really like just like a comfy sweatsuit. I think one thing, and like I kind of touched on this before with saying I'm not a morning person, so like I just don't try to be. Like I lounge around a little in the morning, I'm a lot more productive later in the day. It's like you'll read an article that's like, oh, these are habits of successful people and you have to get up at 5 a.m. to be productive. And I'm like, I'm just fighting a losing battle. And I think I kind of have the same mentality with clothes. I'm like, I'm just not going to get up and put jeans on. Yeah. On like my day to day, when I'm just like running around doing errands, like living my day to day life. So I, kind of had the mentality of being like, okay, I could just invest in like the things I actually like wearing. So like buy yourself a nice sweatsuit or like nice sweatpants or things that are comfortable. If like it's not pants with buttons, then like don't do that. Or like athletic wear. Like I think that's what I spend a lot of my day to day in. So it's like, we'll just elevate your athletic wear a little more if like that's the thing you're going to wear the most. Versus you get tempted to be like, oh, I could just be a whole new person. I'm going to like wear a blazer or something. Or like I'm going to be a person who puts a dress on every day. And like, I'm not going to do that. So I try and play to my strengths there. I think we're getting into fall. Maggie knows this. I'm a big coat person for whatever reason. I am always have my eye on like a new coat. But it is nice in the winter because same thing, like if you have like a kind of dressy coat, you can put it on over anything. And then like no one knows what your outfit is. And like, maybe again with playing to your strengths, we live in Northeast Pennsylvania. It's just really cold. So it's like just go ahead and don't pretend we live in Florida and buy yourself a nice coat you can wear every day and buy yourself a nice pair of boots that can go with things or like elevate a basic look.
Mm-hmm. What's like a cozy brand that you like? Like you have a nice black set.
Yes. Okay. So I love Lake. And like anyone
Lake
who's
pajamas.
Not familiar, Lake pajamas, you're gonna go look them up and be like, "Wow, she spends a lot on pajamas."
I'll link it.
Yeah, their black lounge set, I just love it, and it's like a black sweatsuit, but like I feel like it's pretty versatile. It like looks pretty nice. Another thing is like it fits me well, and that's a big thing. It's like if you're gonna buy comfy clothes, you just like I don't know, buy ones that fit you well and you feel good in, and I at least tell myself I can put a coat over it and like wear it around wherever in the winter. So yeah, I'm a big Lake girl. This is a new sweatshirt now that I think about it. It's from Aerie because they just always have good, comfortable things and at a much more reasonable price point. So I just refreshed my like sweatshirts for the fall.
Nice.
Yeah, so big fan of both of those. I think I'm kind of a picky fabric person. Not in like a bougie way, just because like a lot of them make me kind of itchy, so I'm like particular about that. So I think like a while ago I tried to just like invest in like higher quality sweaters that I wear every winter in like basic colors, like the things you can like really mix and match with or whatever. But like something that I actually liked the feel of, I liked the fit of, like I'll actually go back to wearing. Not that I don't buy all sorts of like non-practical things too, but it's like, the boring fashion advice that I think is just good. It's like, yeah, invest in some basics and then you can build from there.
There's the occasional like baby shower, like engagement party, wedding. You have to have some non-practicals for that. Mm-hmm. But for those events,
like my day to day, I'm like, let me just stick with some faithful things.
Right. What works. How about footwear? Shoes.
I will say I'm a boring footwear girl. Maggie's a big shoe girl. I did not inherit that. I feel like day to day I have a lot of like sneakers I like to wear. Like I like a pair of like white sneakers because it feels pretty versatile to me. And because I don't really mix up my shoes that often, I, love a style mag rack. I bought the, what are they called? The clogs we love.
Cushioners.
Oh, the cushioners. Yes. Okay. The platform cushioners. They're kind of like the UGG slip-on clogs. I love those things so much.
But they're better. They're like
they
better
actually
than
are. Yeah. And you know what? The platform is key. I think I initially was like, why do I need a platform on these like UGG-looking clogs?
I told Vivi's husband to get them for her for Christmas.
She did, and then he got them for me, and I love those things so much. And this is like I didn't. This is what I didn't factor in. If you were, I'm 5'4", if you're like a medium height girl, and yoga pants have come back in style, which I love, but your pants drag on the ground and they get wet all the time. And if you wear a platform everyday shoe, then they don't do that. So that was incredible advice from Style Mag here.
And they're just thank you.
And they're so comfortable. Yeah, so that's what I wear in and out of work. Typically in the winter, I think I probably wore them like too far into the spring for them being shearling, but I'm excited for when it gets cold, they can make an appearance again.
I just bought a new pair. I get a fresh pair every year because I wear them right through the snow. But they're several inches of memory foam, and the Uggs just don't have that. So it has this support that's like incredible, and they're so cozy. They'll be linked. Don't you worry. Vivi, what other things have you bought to furnish or like thrifted to furnish your new home?
I'm trying to think. I guess nothing in a while. I have a long list of things.
You always have fresh flowers. You're really good at that.
This has been, a new thing of mine this summer. I have some flowers on the table here. Maybe I can show you.
Oh, show us.
I think these are from
us.
Central Park.
Ooh, a sunflower.
My mom knew I was on this kick, so she had gotten these for me a little while ago. I had some really pretty flowers I can take no credit for in my yard that were planted before I lived here. And then, like I said, because I live near our family, I was absolutely just mooching off the things blooming in my parents' yard. So I had like a lot of fresh cut flowers. It was like one of those little things. I just was like, this kind of makes me happy to like have new flowers on my table every week. So that's what I had been doing recently. So, it's like sometimes you just gotta lean into something frivolous that you like.
Yeah. That wedding registry is key. You have so many vases.
Yes, and I do have a lot of vases. So excellent when you're trying to go steal flowers from your parents' yard. You need something to put the cuttings in.
Vivi, what are some of the other things you've been cooking lately? Because you are a great little cook.
That's another thing I think my family gives me more credit for than I deserve. I'm a very occasional cook, and this is something that comes up between my husband and I a lot because he's more like, what's in front of me, let me throw it together, and I am like, I am going to see a recipe on Instagram. I will go out and buy every single thing for that. I will follow this whole thing. I'll spend 2 hours on it, and then I won't cook anything for a while. I mean, like, everyone has like their day-to-day basics, I guess they make. But I don't know that I've made anything very exciting. Actually, I guess a couple weeks ago, made an Ina Garten recipe. I'll have to find it and send it to you, Maggie. It had like it was like a very summery feeling. It was like clams, corn. There was like sausage, I think, in it. But you made it. I am a real sucker for like a one skillet, one pan recipe because I don't like to clean up. And as you can tell, I'm a big Ina Garten fan. I've been following along with her a lot this year. But I like her Substack, and she does a lot of like recipes for when she's entertaining. I'm sure most of you know, like, our family's big, so like at Baseline, we might just like have a couple rando guests for dinner. I might have Maggie over, I might have my parents over, my husband's family. So I am like unexpectedly sometimes cooking for a crowd. But yes, I'm very much like not interested in cooking in the day-to-day. Then I'll see something I like and be like, oh, this is a great idea. I'll get into it for a minute.
We are big on cottage cheese toast with dill. Everybody push the avocado toast to the side, okay? Cottage cheese toast. Vivi does a little dill with the Breville gets whirring, and we do some lattes, and that's all you need.
I think I'm a big, like, what's the phrase I keep seeing online, like a hyperfixation meal. Like you find one thing you like and then just eat it like repeatedly until you're sick of it. I think that's me and like any various type of toast. I'm a big breakfast person. So like, yeah, we got into doing cottage cheese toast and that was just like my meal for a while. And then eventually I'll get sick of it. I'll move on to something else. Maybe I'll cycle back. We'll see. And like I am a big, I think too, if you like looked at my kitchen, maybe you'd be like, oh, she's into cooking. So I'm a big cookbook person. I like to look through them and like think about making things. That's actually what my laptop is balancing on right now, is a stack of cookbooks that I haven't opened in a while.
What TV shows are you and Michael into now?
I am not that big of a TV watcher, not in any sort of like against it way or anything. I actually think it's just because our work schedules are so different, and I like will typically watch TV at night. I'm gone 3 nights a week.
Don't tell me you don't love a binge. Don't
I do. It's like I'll find a show, I'll watch the whole thing,
see?
and then but like I'm not that good of a consistent TV watcher, and I think I'm always a couple steps behind on what's popular. So actually, Maggie is usually the one giving me my recommendations, or like my friends, other siblings, whatever. I kind of like wait for someone to tell me a show's worth it, and then I'll get into it. I don't know what I've watched most recently. I was really into the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders
Get out
show, and the season 2 came out recently. That was probably a couple weeks ago. I do think Meghan Markle's second season came out today or tomorrow. Sometime
it's out.
soon.
I know it's out.
Yeah, I'd say my TV preferences are very light. Like, I like some trash TV. Like, I'm a former Bachelor girl. I've kind of fallen out of it recently. Every now and then I'll get into, like, a reality show or something. Or, like I said, like a rom-com, like a silly little series. I don't really like dark. I don't really want a ton of suspense. And I love, like, a lifestyle show. They're so soothing to me. So whenever... I forget what it's called now, Megan show. But whenever the season 2 comes out, I'll definitely be watching that.
With Love, Megan?
Yes.
Yes. The Duchess. So you got me into The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
Now we have this hyperfixation. We have to get to Fizzy Pop in Wyoming. Is that where the dirty soda shop
yeah, I mean, this was just
here?
a recommendation we got yesterday. Apparently it's new that we're going to have to go try it out.
We're going to have to, because I love a beverage. I love a bevy. What's your favorite beverage, like, of all time?
I don't know of all time. Again, I think I go on like kicks with things. Like I said, I like a latte. I'm a big seltzer drinker. We're big seltzer people in my family. So like the brand varies or the flavor varies. But I do really like that. I think it's just like an end of summer feeling too. I'm on a big lemonade kick right now. I'm just like really going to hang on to summer flavors for a while. And because I think every time I walk out my door, there's like a little lemonade stand going on somewhere in the neighborhood. And it's like, you can't not stop for them. Yeah, so that's probably what I've been on right now.
But like, if you had to pick like your last beverage, like Aperol Spritz, like a crisp rosé, what would it be?
Now that you said a crisp rosé, that sounds really good. I'm like a seasonal. I think I'm a white and rosé in the summer. I'm a red wine girl in the winter. If we're getting into cocktails, I actually really love a Cosmo. That's been like a recent resurgence for me. I don't know. We did like a variation of a French 75 for my cocktail at our wedding. And we did like a non-alcoholic option on the menu too. And I did like a cranberry mule. I do really like ginger things. Yeah, I think I'd really be in trouble. Because your name is
Ginger.
I think I'd really be in trouble if I had to pick like a final or favorite everything, because it's very, like day or season dependent.
Well, this has been a lovely segment of Meeting Maggie, and honored to have you here, Viv.
Thank you for
Come back
having me.
anytime. Yeah, this has been great. Meeting Maggie with Maggie McGregor and Virginia Paddock. Okay, hey, it stopped recording.
Okay,
wait, hang on
great.
one second. Let me just end it.